December 17, 2019, a month of joy, a month of celebration, and a month of answered prayers. And I wish you everybody Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays coming soon. We are the promoters of promoters, IELTS 8.5 and Self-Pip 12, only in 5 intensive sessions, only at KCC English Excel Canada. We have here today Carol Maxim, the advisory board of kids and leadership coach, and she believes that leadership begins with self-awareness. Welcome, Carol.
Thank you.
And also we have here Raminder Singh, a man of many titles and a man of many hats and a global man of really bringing the community big things and big initiatives in the name of kids, and many more things he has to share with us. And of course we have here Casey Chauhan, the director and professor of KCC English Excel Canada, who will actually get you your IELTS 8.5 and Self-Pip 12. She is an educationist, she is an achiever, and most of all, she is dedicated, she's determined, and she's diligent in whatever she does. Welcome to all of you.
Thank you.
Go for it, Casey.
Wow, this was a wow, everybody, and along with all of us, we've got Rita, our HR professional, the HR specialist. She loves giving jobs out there, and she's hosting this TV show with a purpose in here, and the very purpose here with our elite guest here is peace. It's harmony. It's community service, and that is, everybody, our Executive Director, Raminder Singh of GIDS. Welcome, Raminder.
Thank you, Casey. Thank you very much, Jadoo.
A leadership coach, talking about consciousness, talking about peace, an advisory board member, Carol Maxim. Carol, welcome.
I'm delighted to be here. Thank you.
My very first question, which we were discussing before the show too, was peace. What's your perspective on peace, Carol?
Well, my perspective on peace comes from within, I'm sharing. But we live in a very unique culture here in Canada, which brings together cultures from all over the world. So our intention on what we're creating here is to bring peace inside of community at an international level. So we can speak here for self and in community across Canada and across the world. Ultimately, we're all wanting that peace and joy. You welcomed us with joy, and around the holidays, it's actually for us to have that continuity throughout our year and throughout our lives.
So Raminder, peace awards, peace in communities within Canada, and of course I know you have a broader perspective which is international and global as well. What is really peace to you?
Casey, we are working in Canada on the many countries building peace in the communities. So we believe in Gandhi's philosophy of truth and non-violence. That's our basic ideology we are working on. And so this year, the whole world is celebrating 150th anniversary of Gandhi, and the whole world celebrate that day as a World Non-Violence Day. So we are dedicating this year in the form of International Peace Awards. So peace, we are trying to bring all different community leaders and community organizations on one platform, that we can build a healthy, safe and prosperous world, not only Canada.
Wow. So we are bringing different leaders from different organizations and you're awarding them.
Yep.
Awesome. You being an advisory board member, Carol, could you tell us what are these different categories, and on what basis do you select the finalists?
Okay, so we have a variety of categories. There are over 25 categories for the awards. We had multiple submissions from all over the world and Canada for this year. And just to give you a few of the examples, there's philanthropists, there's the best youth, there's seniors work, there's food banks, there's, what are some of the ones I'm just looking at? There's so many.
I can read those out here because I've got a list here if you want.
Such a big list,
Yeah.
Thank you.
I can read these if you want.
Just to share a few more.
Yes. It says here, and this is really very interesting because I myself was very impressed. It says here the different categories of the Peace Awards are Best Humanitarian, Best Work for Seniors, Best Work for Youth, Interfaith and Religious Harmony. Wow, Raminder. Work in mental health, women empowerment, children rights, serving victims of violence and crime, indigenous First Nation, science and research, promoting diversity and multiculturalism, social enterprise, best philanthropist, art, music and literature, volunteer appreciation award, disability empowerment, promoting peace through education, LGBTQ rights, animal rights, health awareness, environment and green technology, poverty and homelessness, food bank services, refugee and immigrants, sports. Oh my, am I missing anything, Raminder?
When we started this whole concept of peace award, we have not just a kind of very localized kind of vision in mind. We have a global vision in mind.
Wow.
So we thought of so right now this year, any organization or any person can nominate themselves, their team, or the organizations who are working in the community, whether it's Canada or outside the Canada, overseas. So this year the condition is the organization should be Canadian non-profit. But we expanding this whole concept of international peace awards slowly to different countries. For example, next year we're thinking of covering USA and maybe UK, and then slowly
Wow.
we will Europe and Asia. So
Wow.
it's a step-by-step approach, how much we can cover in 1 year.
Wow.
This whole concept we started around September, but we have a very wide network on social media. I think we are connected almost every big organizations in Canada. So our team, like almost 15 people in my team, were just working on these awards.
Wow.
In the last 3 months. 15 people. So we connected, we got hundreds of nominations. I think in the last we got 700 almost nominations. And in this just 2 months, people love the idea we launched. And because in the very first beginning, we told them that there's no money involved in this prize. In this whole Peace Awards, we are not even taking a single penny from any organizations. We are sending free VIP tickets to all the finalists to be part of this Peace Awards.
Look at that.
So this is all we have support from Government of Canada, who are supporting our Interfaith initiative and all our initiative to build a healthy, safe and prosperous Canada for our kids.
That's my next question. Is whenever we have a concept inside our mind, we always want to execute it in the best way possible, and Gitz has been there doing very big things. Tell me about leadership. He has been a great leader, and he has proven himself to be a great leader. So tell me a little bit more about what is leadership and how, anybody can be a leader, or some specific minds who can really achieve big?
Well, if we take the modern definition of leadership, it really is managing the promises. So the vision was created, and thank you for reading all the categories there, because that's really the leaders of our communities.
Wow.
So there's many levels of leadership here that are incorporated into the International Peace Awards, and under the executive directorship of Raminder there's young leaders involved. So he talked about the team that's putting the awards together. There's a community of students that are actively engaged in these awards. They're coming in and putting their education and their service into these awards. So they're learning, they're contributing, and they're being contributed to by leadership. So they're surrounded by a mentorship. So there's always the next generation of guiding, and it's also their community service. So they're coming in, and it expands them. You're talking about HR, expands them into community, builds relationships with other leaders who are a positive influence in their lives. So that's the level of organization. And then there's the leadership at the level of leadership with the advisory board members, who are all incredibly distinguished leaders who are contributors to community. They've had relationships with Raminder and the initiatives, and they're always willing and ready to come forward and serve.
And the connection,
what's needed. So the wisdom and the relationships that contributed. So it does take many people to have something. Raminder said, the conception in the last 5-6 months to come to life. So there's the student levels, there's the community levels, there's the event execution level, and there's our partnership level at the government level. So you can see this leadership, the teams are just expansive to fulfill on the mission and the intention of the awards. So we're here to fulfill on the promises that were created and deliver on that. And you know, the focus is for us to focus on those leaders who created the awards by giving them the acknowledgement and appreciation they deserve that is rarely given for the work that they do in society.
One immediate question which comes to my mind, Carol, is that we all are immigrants, right?
Yes.
Here in Canada. Canada is an immigrant country. The thing here is that we are mentioning here communities. So my very first concern, and I would like to know your perspective on that. What is the Canadian community, first of all? And then within that, the communities which we have, so how would you really define that for people to understand out there?
So, you know, I think what's unique, I've lived most of my life here in Canada, so I came here when I was 3 years old.
Okay.
So what I see growing up in Canada is the uniqueness of maintaining some of our culture values and faiths. So you talk about the interfaith. Those values that come from our cultures make a difference of who we are. And there's some beautiful, you know, history behind that, and you were referring to Gandhi, that just like that we want to remember that and bring that forward. Those are you want to bring all the positives forward. So Canada represents the world. We are one of the best recognizing the world. How we live in peace and harmony in our country. We are by all means not, how do I say, at the level we want to be, because we can say, we talked about this, that there's work to be done in our societies as well. We have unique, in Canada, I'm just referring to Toronto right now, where certain, like the Indian culture, the Italian culture, we'll gather, but yet we will still all gather together in celebrations, in sporting events, in city events, in New Year's events, like all these things. So you will see community come out, and it just depends on. But that's the Canadians will stand together when there's something for us to stand. Here's our anthem. I think I'm going to start singing our anthem.
You'll agree with us that this is one of the most beautiful country in the world.
It is in top 10. It's amazing.
Bible says this is the number one country. You know, you can't compare any country in the world where you can have the same kind of freedoms. You know, the same kind of. You see the basket full of flowers. Every flower is different.
Wow,
that's
beautiful.
That's the beauty. You know, the real concept of unity in diversity. Canada represent that.
Wow.
So that's a country we that's why we bring our kids to this country, and we are running. We came from other countries, and we bring all the countries because countries may have different things, but Canada is topmost right now.
Stands out.
Our leaders, you know, the perspectives of leaders, how they are celebrating Diwali, how they are celebrating Eid, how they are celebrating Christmas, how they are celebrating Holi, even Baisakhi, and even small festivals. And you having the messages from the Prime Minister, and he participates, not only messages, the whole parliament participate in all kind of this interfaith things. So it's a beautiful country we have.
This question was so dear to me, everybody. Canada is a community of communities. Like what Raminder and Carol said, it's a mosaic. Mosaic how we represent different nations, different religions, different backgrounds, and in this very country, under one rooftop, we can be who we are, maintain our religion, maintain our values, at the same time be one, and that is Canadian.
But Casey, like how does that happen is I personally feel it's all about customer service, and it's all about you present yourself, because we all are brands. Like Raminder Singh is a brand, Carol is a brand, Casey is a brand. And we really have to show that brand towards the world and the government and the communities to really get it back. One thing, your events are on a very high level, and you also bring dancing, music, and this December 21st is a musical night also, along with the Peace Awards. So tell me about the Government of Canada, because in all your posters I see Government of Canada, funded by such a big name there. So what is that one thing which Government of Canada sees in your initiatives that they actually fund you, which is big?
What the Government of Canada want to see, unity in diversity. That's the main concept they want. They want people don't lose their identities, but make one Canada. You know, we have to bring all the similarities and goodness in this country.
Love this.
And we have to forget all those divisions and hatred
Love
and keep
it.
them away from us. Keep it on the back. So we should not take away all those bad things in this country. Keep all the goodness.
Yes.
And government support all those initiatives. This is not our initiatives. The many initiatives government supporting, like building an interfaith community. So like respecting all the religions. And you know the best thing, how we can respect the other religions, understand them.
Wow.
Yeah, if you understand other religions, you will see that all religion in the world, they teach peace and love.
and
harmony.
You know,
Wow.
there's no religion in the world who says that this is love the bad person or do bad things or do stealing. You know, every religion in the world says
Walk on the right
help
path.
the needy
Yeah.
people.
Wow.
Love, spread the love. And this is how we have it. So Interfaith Initiative basically is a interfaith musical event. Musical event mean there's a lot of cultural items will be there, not just one religion. There will be Greek dances, there will be Punjabi dances, there will be maybe some other maybe Gujarati dances. Yeah.
So
we will-
and music transcends.
music, yeah.
Music transcends all culture.
Wow, wow, oh my. Carol, did you see that we really came up to that very first question, what is peace?
Yeah.
This is what peace is, isn't it? Peace, as in the beginning we said, harmony and community service, all coming together. We being so harmonious and peaceful in, I would use the very word here, not tolerating, but accepting as to who we are and what we do, and then rendering out service.
Yep.
This is what the whole thing is about. Peace Awards, we were the very first question in the beginning, choosing the finalist, and as you are one of the advisory member, so could you tell us how do you really narrow down the finalist on each one of these categories?
So after all of the submissions were received, they were narrowed down in all of the categories.
So how many did you receive?
Oh, there was over 700.
Around 700.
700. Wow,
700,
wow.
Yeah. And then all of the categories, and then we have a panelists of jurors
Okay.
who are distinguished community members who have served the community, who are very knowledgeable about the commitment to what it takes to deliver these services. And then they were each given a series of criteria to judge, and it was based on a point system. So all of the submissions
Wow.
were sent to each of the jurors individually to go through the criteria, and then their submissions they're anonymous. They come back, so none of the jurors will know the winners because they each will go through all of the criteria. Then the information comes back, and then it will be accumulated for the winner to be selected.
Yeah.
Wow.
So total
yeah,
5
it-
criteria are there.
So,
And
so like you're saying that all these 700 applicants were actually seen?
no, 125 finalists.
No, so
we-
700.
Yeah,
you
they have
chose
seen.
Thank you.
125.
They have
One
seen
step, yes.
very hard work,
Yeah.
and we
Wow.
have sent the data in a very compiled PDF form.
Okay.
Wow.
Basically, it was a 3-step process. The first step was anyone from the community can nominate any person, team, or organization.
Yeah.
The second step was we then contact that organization that somebody from the community nominated you. So send us all the information. They send us all the information in annual reports, the PDF, and whatever they are. So we have all the financial report already available on the CRA website. So the third step was our team compiled all the information and sent all to 9 jury members.
Awesome,
And
awesome.
they have went through every organizations, and we have 5 criteria. For example, we have 1 criteria, how much innovation and creativity in their programs. We have second criteria like the maximum utilization of maximum resources, the main criteria.
Wow.
It doesn't matter the organization is small or big, it matters how much they use the resources, how good they are using the resources, how much they bring the positive difference in the life of people, and how much they spend the budget on administration versus the program activity. So these are kind of criteria, very realistic criteria. And the jury now has already sent us all the evaluation report, so not a single member can judge who is the winner. So
it's
we
very
will make it
possible.
average
Yeah,
for
very-
all. There's a big work for I know. It's a big work for our team. That's what we're doing. So we will make it average of all the organizations. You know, every organization is doing awesome job. The difference is only somebody is 40.1 or somebody 40.2. Because really, you know, we have organizations like Canadian Cancer Society, Peel Children Aid, we have Solar Nova Scotia, we have Calgary, Women Assault, we have Calgary Women Association, we have, you name any organization in 25 category, they are the finalists. It's really hard decision for our jury members, but I we respect the decisions.
Stunning.
And I think the key is, even in this moment as we're coming up to the event, is acknowledging the celebration of that acknowledgement. Because everybody, you know, we often get to the award, but to have 125 finalists and recognizing those organizations, they have done a tremendous amount of work to do the preparation, to acknowledge themselves, to put the backup behind that, and then to narrow that down. It's not an easy process.
No, not at all.
As the executive director, I have no role in decision making.
Wow.
Our role is only compiling all the information.
Because why I also ask is because in HR, as you know, when we always, whenever we have these applicants, we have to answer them back, right? As to giving them a follow-up email. So I'm actually glad that it's all concrete and it's all happening with truthfulness and with ethical.
Yeah.
I'm really glad with that.
One thing I would like to mention here, I'm going to switch to another language here with Raminder.
Yes, please do.
The thing here is that one thing which really attracted and took my attention was it's gonna be free for the recipients. Usually an award function, we are talking Desi media here, we're getting Desi. What happens is that it's business involved and many have to pay in order even to receive that. Raminder, I would like you to tell us how come you've made it possible that the recipients are all invited and they are coming for free and it's all funded?
You know, it's not all funded. We have getting some sponsors too who are helping us. We have some funding. Some we have, for example, food. Government is not paying for anything for the food, so we have to raise some fund for that. So the thing is, it's a kind of support from the community too.
Awesome.
We are getting we are looking at the whole business right now going on, not only in Canada, in different countries. Awards are being sold. You book 2-3 tables in an event and they will give you award. So that's how we decided, you know, we are different. We are really want to highlight the grassroots community work.
Awesome.
We just want to showcase them as role models. We just want to bring them and promote them as peace ambassadors. You know, organizations who are giving their lives for the community without even, we have some organizations like, we have a lot of animal organizations who are just volunteer based. They have not a single paid employee in those organizations. So hundreds. There are 40,000 charities right now in Canada, and government of Canada earn more than $10 billion every year from the volunteer hours. And you know, every high school kid needs 40 hours as a volunteer, and they are not just giving 40 hours, they're giving more than hundreds of hours. So this is a beautiful country based on the volunteer work, and we have to promote this work. We have to set them as role model for our kids and generations.
I would say that's the economic relationships, and it's the education outside the classroom. And that's what I was saying, that this really demonstrates where they are to be in community and find their place and find their leadership and their pathways by experience. So this really brings together.
The very vision here, everybody, I can see is dazzling in itself, and like what Raminder is educating in a very, it's soul educational, and this very concept which you brought in, Raminder, where you said that this very peace awards, the recipients would be the peace ambassadors. This is a lovely term. Anybody would love that.
The winner for this year will be the jury for next year.
Oh my, this is again another stunning thing.
They don't know that yet fully, but we're gonna
so they will decide now the next year winners.
Wow. I know the title of the awards is Interfaith Musical Night and Peace Awards Ceremony. Interfaith, what is Interfaith, Raminder?
So basically we have one interfaith panel. Last we have October 25th for Diwali event, we had 2 interfaith panel, and so we are calling different community leaders representing different faith, ethnicity or different cultures, and we all are like working on exploring alternate paradigms to build a peaceful Canada for our beautiful country. Canada.
How else peace can be related to all this, everybody. Interfaith. So you can be a Christian, you can be a Sikh, you can be believing on Buddha or a Muslim, different interfaith, different religions coming together and all out highlighting their perspectives on how Canada be a safe and peaceful country for our future generations. Look at that. Isn't that so much peace in itself?
Yes, it is.
Oh my,
it's
my.
just the presence of all the leaders when they show up.
And look at the different and diverse kind of people all getting together, like we said, into that one big banquet hall and presenting their ideas. And what else, everybody? Diversity united, which is equivalent to peace.
And when we started this whole process, and now when we and the jury and our board, when we are looking all the beautiful, wonderful different organizations and the information they provided us, we're just amused. The whole Canada doesn't know about all these wonderful thousands of Canadian charities and non-profits who are giving their lives. So our job is now to promote them, to show this whole world and Canada, and think that these are the beautiful people, these are the beautiful organizations who are making the real difference in the life of people. Wow. I'm just stunned with what I'm hearing. Carol, I can read here for you. Carol says, life is a special event. Wow, Carol. You being the advisory member of GIDS, tell us your feelings.
Well, just the moment you said that brings me joy. So that is my message for living. So we all can be that every day. Sometimes we think we have to go to that celebration, but just when you spoke about all of these people coming together, for me, that's the joy. Life is especially when there's a gathering of people. We have, we see ourselves in others. We can share ourselves with others. We enjoy the food and the relationships that are built with that. So when the word special, when you said life is a special event, refers to a very unique, gathering. It's not one that happens every day. Our lives are so unique. This is once in a lifetime. So that is the book that I wrote. But I live that message, and really that's where the peace comes from. Peace and joy and love comes from sharing with others and over communication and over celebration and sharing. And it's the time of year where we are gathering, and for some they may not even experience that, but I think the one word that's been resonating with me today is choice. And when you are choosing your experiences, you said, what's my experience? You can choose your experience at any moment to be at peace, to be at joy. Just take a moment to breathe. It doesn't matter what faith you are, what background, what culture, you as a human being can choose that peace. And you can choose the actions you take, and you can choose the organizations and the people you surround yourself around. So that would be the one word that I would add to this today.
Wonderful. So like you were talking about peace, I recently had an experience with some of my students and out there. I've seen that some individuals out there, people try and they get unlucky and they get unsuccessful. They try again, they keep on trying, but still they don't get success. How would that relate to bringing peace in them with not getting successful or not getting achieve their achievement slip?
Wow, I can go into so much into this inside.
Please, because yes.
Yeah, so again, in an individual, to get to the root of a pattern that's happening over and over again is first to identify it. I think the key is an acceptance of understanding. If you don't have the conscious awareness of that, then it just continues to happen. But the moment you become aware that there's this pattern that keeps repeating, if we get into our consciousness, the way our minds are developed, and I'll keep it very basic, is that it's a programming. And so past events do start recurring again. So the first thing is, if you're thinking about peace for self, is become aware of that. Once you're aware of yourself, and patterns, now you can actually look at that and decide. So you would look at what you're already doing that has it go that way. So you just do an evaluation, like an HR, an evaluation of yourself. Just take it on for yourself. Nobody else, no other family members, because sometimes we want to go out there and blame everybody outside of us. It's just, what can I do to discover my patterns? And then what are some of the results that I have from those patterns? Well, some, might stop me, or I might start things or stop, or, if I go out there, somebody might do something to me. And when you learn that, you can now, just like an athlete would, so we want to talk about performance, you can now look at not like ever anything in life is wrong. So if you actually can take your whole experience in life, that there's no right or wrongs, you look at yourself like an athlete, and you evaluate yourself as an experience, always as an experience first. Like, how was I about that experience? Was I sad because it's happening again and again and again and I'm beating myself up and again? Or am I going to be like curious about it and go, okay, I've got now the awareness, and I can say, well, what would I put in now that could really make a difference in my... Now, this is going to take practice, just like going to the gym. So if I'm always sad and frustrated and suffering and going that cycle and I'm not at peace, then perhaps that is the experience I'm looking for. It's just to accept myself.
Wow.
And I will add one more thing.
Yes.
Success has a different meaning for different people.
Yes.
And the second thing is, there are certain things you have to keep in mind. The first thing is technology. The changes coming in every sector. You take education, you take job sector, so fast that if you compare the whole civilization and the last 50 years, you can compare the changes in the last 50 years are much vast than the whole history of civilization.
30 years before there was no computers.
This is,
and it's getting more wider and wider.
Wow. Sorry, go ahead.
But the thing is, when I came in this country, I give my example. When I came in this country, I thought of where I will go. If you have a focus approach, I thought, I will, because with a background with my non-profit sector in India, I thought of going in the non-profit sector here. I was a professor back home in PhD in political economy. Wow. So I thought, let us go in the non-profit sector. I focused myself, we're in non-profit sector. So for example, I was working with a lot of domestic violence cases back home. I thought, so which is the best organization here working in the domestic violence field? Because I had experience. I found victim services in Toronto Police. That's the best organization. So I approached them. I see, how can I get into that organization? The director told me, come as a co-op student. So I did my social work. Then I come as a co-op student. And then they hired me. And I achieved my target in just 2 years as the first male person in their team. And I worked with them for 3 years as a program manager and volunteer coordinator, and helped hundreds of in this case. So the thing is, when you have a focus approach, when you have a positive attitude, and you are passionate about something, nobody can stop you.
Wow. I have to give an applause on that. One thing with Raminder, I would in fact mention here is, because now we have been together for almost 3 years, and I'm also one of the advisory board member of GATES. Raminder is that one individual who would give respect. Whoever the person is, whatever community, whatever background they come from, you get respect and recognition. So these very awards is all about respect, acknowledgement, recognition, and then you becoming the peace ambassadors, Canadian peace ambassadors. A country like Canada with diverse, we say it's diverse, we say it's multiculturalism, and our own Justin Trudeau's quote, in Canada, better is always possible. So this is better, and it can be possible through different means, and this is what all Peace Awards is. So Carol, again, you're very experienced into doing different stuff in here, and these very awards, as compared to what's already out there, how would you really match these awards to those?
I think the word that we're using is grassroots. So there's a real authenticity to these awards. There was a lot of attention put into the awards to have authentic submissions, the judging process and the criteria. So, and there's the overall mission of it. And actually, I was just sitting here thinking as you shared some of this, and I thought everybody can be a part of this. Not just at being in the night or being in the organization. Because every one of us have that opportunity to bring peace and community. And see, you said about respect. That's where I was going to go with that.
Exactly.
Respect is just having respect for every other person around us and who we meet, because the truth is we truly do not know their history behind that person you're meeting, and whether it's relevant to you or not, it isn't. It's just respecting the person who's with you in that moment.
Wow. GIDS is a non-profit charitable organization. Raminda, tell us more about GIDS, because I know there are many initiatives.
Yeah, so GIDS has, if we just talk about last 2 years, we did a lot in Canada and other countries. Just focus on Canada. So for example, in last 2 years, we organized more than 25 multicultural events just to bring everyone together, like building peace. We are thankful to Government of Canada, we are thankful to Government of Ontario, we are thankful to the City of Brampton even. They are helping us so much with all of our initiative. We organize, I think 3 or 4 mega job fairs, and we helped more than 3,000 people getting some volunteer, co-op or job opportunity with the help of, I think we have 120 partners. We also built a BANC, BANC, Business and Non-Profit Club Canada, and we are getting like a lot of members. On the one hand, we have people who need the best the best job sector, and we have a job sector who need the best companies. So our job is just to network them, because we have a wide network. We have a GIDS Youth Council. Our Youth Council is so prominent. Even last month we had a mission to clean the parks in Brampton, and we cleaned 2 or 3 parks, but we stopped because there was a lot of needles and a lot of danger involved. So our volunteers, some are very high school kids, so we stopped the whole mission. But we are thinking of different ways getting into this. So we have so many. For example, we have you can say GIDStalk.com. So we're helping so many newcomers with advanced employment skills, building their profiles on LinkedIn, interview and resume writing skills. So we have a lot of initiative. We are right now working in Canada.
And I can see here that be the change you want to see in the world. Mahatma Gandhi. The very Peace Award ceremony is interlinked and connected with Gandhi. Tell us, Raminder, how?
So we founded this whole organization basically against violence. So violence could be of any type. If somebody is poor, not getting the food, that's a violence. If a lady is getting beaten up in her home, maybe it's a kind of verbal abuse or emotional or financial abuse, that's a violence. If a kid is not getting to school and working as a labor, like a child labor, that's a violence. For us, violence has a very wider perspective. So that's why we are dedicating this whole Peace Award ceremony to Gandhi on his 150th anniversary. And we are bringing all the organizations who are either working with the people who are in autism and helping them getting as an asset to the societies. There are organizations who are working for seniors. There are organizations working for youth, for refugee immigrants, for example, for even pets. So they all have some rights, some living rights, some basic necessities. So anyone helping anyone in the community, they are very important to us. So we want to bring their work as a role model before the other communities.
I have a question here. In life, you work very hard to achieve a certain job title, to actually become that brand we are right now, and we actually to earn that respect, that people can actually praise us and compliment us. But then it takes time and it takes struggle to really get that title, to really earn that respect. There's so much negativity around us, right? Which you cannot do it. And once we do it, it's still like, oh, it's okay, it's fine. It's a job, it's a car you own, it's a house you own, it's fine. Because that excitement dies because it comes up like years and years and years of hard work. Like, it's okay. Good job. Why do we have to lose that charm? Because we worked so hard to get it. Why can't we still be excited? Like, I did it. Like, I earned it.
Yeah, I will say one thing. All these feelings, whether it's a positivity, it's a negativity, it's a happiness, sorrow, or peace, they are from within. They're from within. People spend their whole life looking for happiness all around. They never find the happiness. Happiness is all within. You have to find the means. There are people I have seen, they're billionaire. They have given all their property and they're now finding peace in helping seniors or people with some kind of Alzheimer, helping maybe some youth, maybe small kids, maybe different. So happiness, this is all basically our personal perspective. How we look around, how kind of support system we have, how kind of friend circle, family support we get. So there's a lot of factor, but this is all within feeling.
But I'm also talking about appreciation here, right?
Well, I think, there's a journey, there's two ways we can go through our journey. There's a linear journey of we go and we learn and we grow and we move up through our careers and established. I've had over 30 years being an entrepreneur and being in business. But I do remember when I was about 15 years into my career, we had awards and it was for our industry and I was recognized as top in Canada. It wasn't special events and I was, the second finalist for the award. And I remember my table was all my sister and my family and friends, and as they announced, somebody else won that award. But my table all stood up and they all surrounded me. And my biggest competitor in my industry walked over to me and said, please just keep doing the work you're doing in the community because that's who you are.
Wow.
And that was the moment, even as the song Halo played, that I saw the love of the people who mattered to me surround me. And I saw the acknowledgement from my peer in the industry, and I never forgot when she looked me in the face that day and said, just keep doing the work you're doing, because I was doing a lot of mentorship work for the youth, and those words, that was the moment that I didn't need the award anymore. I wasn't searching for something and recognition outside.
Wow.
It actually came inside. That was the moment that it went in my heart there. And there wasn't anything that I needed from I would just to keep doing the work. I was actually became quieter about the work. There was nothing that I was waiting for someone else to say, Carol, good job.
Wow.
You do want that. It does make a difference, even in the neuroscience of women. We actually want to hear the acknowledgement and appreciation. I'll speak to the women just from that perspective. Men don't need that as much. It actually impacts our thoughts, our serotonin in our brains, and stimulates. So keep doing it. We don't have to wait for an award for this. We can actually do this with our coworkers. Just spend a moment, acknowledge them in the day.
Yeah.
But I do feel that a really one word of appreciation, like thank you, good job.
Yeah.
I'm really happy for that excitement really gets you that excitement.
Doesn't
Like
it?
I'm actually worth it. I actually earned it and actually want to hear that from like that, especially from those people who have spent my life with, right?
Yeah.
But then again, like why does the charm have to die when we achieve things?
So keep that charm, and my invitation would be for anybody or your viewers is just actually go practice that with people. Like practice just with your family. Acknowledge your mom, acknowledge your brother, acknowledge, and watch the experience that you get by giving it away, and then you'll receive that. It's really, but it's not just an
from somebody else.
It's not just an acknowledgement. Hey, it's actually looking them in the eyes and feeling that.
There you go.
You can't just give an acknowledgement. Like all the work that you do here in communicating to your viewers and sharing good, stories, it takes something every day to generate, and what you don't see behind the scenes, and to show up every day at work, and then to come and do the research and get involved. And you work with people, so it's like the business of people is what we're here to do, is bring out the best in others.
And that's how we devise this whole concept, the Peace Award.
Yeah.
If we give any award and say, okay, now bye-bye, go to home, yes, we are finished. So the thing is, after, so once they are announced winner, they are the jury for the next event. Now the responsibility increases. They have to go through all the nomination next year. And second thing is, we are reminding them of their beautiful work and different initiative through promoting them as a brand ambassadors, like the peace ambassadors.
Wow.
So we'll keep them reminding, keep their work, get more creative, get more innovative.
So it doesn't
So that's how
end.
it never ends. So they are part of our initiative every year.
Amazing.
I would add on to what Carol and Rominder just mentioned, and what Rita was basically asking was, Carol, I've learned in my life, happiness is your tears. Real happiness is those tears which you get at the end of that struggle when you've achieved. If we are talking about, Rita says you want appreciation from others. No, when you have gone through that struggle and achieved that what you wanted to achieve. You've proven it to yourself. It's your inner self which is gonna appreciate you for what you've done. At that stage of life, you don't need anybody's appreciation, but only yourself. And that's where your peace and your happiness is
Inner
within
feelings.
you.
Yeah.
I think there's also a key tie to this about all the interfaiths as well. Because a great deal of the work that it's taken me inside, and I do work every day, and is to just be with yourself. That's what I'm saying. Like, it begins with self, because we do often, have our own cynicism, criticism, inner critic of ourselves, and then we also have our communication. We have filters the way we listen. So actually, we often don't even listen to people. People want to be heard. If you just actually listen to people without giving advice, just hear what they need to say. They just want to be heard. Because they have all the answers within. And that's where the faith comes.
So Raminder, we are towards the end of our show. Time passes quickly. We didn't even know. But so Raminder, in Punjabi, because we've got Punjabi listeners out there, ਥੋੜਾ ਜਿਹਾ ਦੱਸੋ ਜੀ ਪੀਸ ਅਵਾਰਡ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਕਰ ਰਹੇ ਹੋ, ਇਹ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਇਹ ਤੇ ਕੌਣ ਆਏ, ਕੌਣ ਅਟੈਂਡ ਕਰੇ ਆ ਕੇ?
ਸਾਰੇ ਹੀ ਵੈਲਕਮ ਨੇ ਜੀ ਇਹ ਪੀਸ ਅਵਾਰਡ ਵਾਸਤੇ। ਜੀ ਅਸੀਂ ਬਹੁਤ ਵਧੀਆ ਅਰੇਂਜਮੈਂਟ ਕੀਤਾ ਇਹਦੇ ਵਾਸਤੇ। ਵੀ ਹੈਵ ਇੰਟਰਫੇਥ ਪੈਨਲ, ਵੱਖਰੇ ਵੱਖਰੇ ਲੀਡਰਸ ਦਾ ਪੈਨਲ ਹੈਗਾ, ਮਿਊਜ਼ੀਕਲ ਈਵਨਿੰਗ ਹੈਗੀ ਹੈ, ਅਵਾਰਡ ਸੈਰੇਮਨੀ ਜਿਵੇਂ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਫਿਲਮ ਫੇਅਰ ਅਵਾਰਡ ਦੇਖਦੇ ਸੀ, ਆਲਮੋਸਟ ਸੇਮ ਲੈਵਲ ਦੇ ਉੱਤੇ ਨੂੰ ਕ੍ਰੀਏਟ ਕਰ ਰਹੇ ਹੈਗੇ। ਐਂਡ ਉਹ ਸਾਰੇ ਹੀ ਲੋਕਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਅਸੀਂ ਐਪਰੀਸ਼ੀਏਟ ਕਰਾਂਗੇ, ਨਾ ਸਿਰਫ ਕਿ ਵਿਨਰਸ ਨੂੰ, ਸਭ ਨੂੰ ਐਪਰੀਸ਼ੀਏਟ ਕਰਾਂਗੇ ਜਿਨ੍ਹਾਂ ਨੇ ਵੀ ਕਮਿਊਨਿਟੀ ਵਾਸਤੇ ਕੰਮ ਕੀਤਾ ਹੈ।
ਕੀ ਬਾਤ ਹੈ।
ਇੱਕ ਗੱਲ ਮੈਂ ਦੱਸਣੀ ਭੁੱਲ ਗਿਆ ਕਿ ਜਿਨ੍ਹਾਂ ਨੇ ਜਿਹੜੀਆਂ ਸਾਡੀਆਂ 25 ਕੈਟਾਗਰੀਜ਼ ਦੇ ਵਿਨਰਸ ਨੇ, ਉਹ ਤੇ ਹੋਣਗੇ ਹੀ ਹੋਣਗੇ। ਇਸ ਤੋਂ ਇਲਾਵਾ ਵੀ ਅਸੀਂ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਲੋਕਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਬੁਲਾ ਰਹੇ ਹਾਂ ਅਵਾਰਡ ਦੇਣ ਵਾਸਤੇ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਕਿ ਵਾਕਈ ਹੀ ਉਸ ਫੀਲਡ 'ਚ ਕੰਮ ਕਰ ਰਹੇ ਨੇ। ਫੋਰ ਐਗਜ਼ਾਮਪਲ, ਅਸੀਂ ਹੁਣੇ ਇੱਕ ਲੇਡੀ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਕਿ ਬਰੈਂਪਟਨ ਦੀ ਬਹੁਤ ਵੱਡੀ ਆਰਗੇਨਾਈਜੇਸ਼ਨ ਦੀ ਐਗਜ਼ੀਕਿਊਟਿਵ ਡਾਇਰੈਕਟਰ ਹੈਗੀ ਹੈ, ਸ਼ੀ ਇਜ਼ ਹਰਸੈਲਫ ਔਨ ਦਾ ਵੀਲ ਚੇਅਰ।
ਅੱਛਾ।
ਹਾਂਜੀ, ਉਹ ਡਿਸੇਬਿਲਿਟੀ 'ਤੇ ਕੰਮ ਕਰ ਰਹੇ ਨੇ ਐਂਡ ਸ਼ੀ ਐਗਰੀਡ ਕਿ ਉਹ ਉੱਥੇ ਆ ਕੇ ਡਿਸੇਬਿਲਿਟੀ ਕੈਟਾਗਰੀ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਅਵਾਰਡ ਦੇਣਗੇ। ਐਂਡ ਵੀ ਹੈਵ ਇਨਵਾਈਟਡ ਵਨ ਆਫ ਅ ਲੇਡੀ ਫਰਮ ਡਰਮ ਰੀਜਨ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਕਿ ਵਿਕਟਿਮਸ ਆਫ ਵਾਇਲੈਂਸ ਐਂਡ ਕ੍ਰਾਈਮ ਦੇ ਉੱਤੇ ਪਿਛਲੇ ਕਈ ਸਾਲਾਂ ਤੋਂ ਕੰਮ ਕਰ ਰਹੇ ਨੇ। ਸ਼ੀ ਇਜ਼ ਐਗਰੀਡ ਟੂਡੇ ਕਿ ਉਹ ਆ ਰਹੇ ਨੇ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਉਸ ਕੈਟਾਗਰੀ 'ਚ ਅਵਾਰਡ ਦੇਣ ਵਾਸਤੇ।
ਕੀ ਬਾਤ ਹੈ।
ਫੋਰ ਐਗਜ਼ਾਮਪਲ, ਮਿਊਜ਼ਿਕ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਅਸੀਂ ਵੀ ਹੈਵ ਅ ਵੈਰੀ ਫੇਮਸ ਮਿਊਜ਼ੀਸ਼ੀਅਨ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਕਿ ਕੈਨੇਡਾ ਵਿੱਚ ਨੇ, ਮੈਂ ਨਾਮ ਹੀ ਲੈਣਾ ਚਾਹੁੰਦਾ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦਾ, ਲੇਕਿਨ ਹੀ ਇਜ਼ ਐਗਰੀਡ ਕਿ ਮਿਊਜ਼ਿਕ ਕੈਟਾਗਰੀ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਉਹ ਅਵਾਰਡ ਦੇਣਗੇ। ਸੋ ਅਸੀਂ ਕੋਸ਼ਿਸ਼ ਇਹ ਕਰ ਰਹੇ ਹਾਂ ਕਿ ਵੱਧ ਤੋਂ ਵੱਧ ਲੋਕਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਅਸੀਂ ਚਾਹੇ ਕਿਸੇ ਵੀ ਬਹਾਨੇ ਨਾਲ ਇਸ ਪਲੇਟਫਾਰਮ 'ਤੇ ਲੈ ਕੇ ਆਈਏ ਐਂਡ ਆਪਣੇ ਬੱਚਿਆਂ ਵਾਸਤੇ, ਫਿਊਚਰ ਜਨਰੇਸ਼ਨ ਵਾਸਤੇ ਇੱਕ ਇਹੋ ਜਿਹਾ ਕੰਟਰੀ, ਇਹੋ ਜਿਹਾ ਮਤਲਬ ਵਨ ਕੈਨੇਡਾ ਬਣਾਈਏ ਕਿ ਸਾਡੇ ਬੱਚੇ ਵੀ ਕਹਿਣਗੇ ਵੀ ਫੀਲ ਪ੍ਰਾਊਡ ਆਫ।
ਕੀ ਬਾਤ ਹੈ ਜੀ। ਔਰ ਜਿੱਥੇ ਰਿਦਾ ਗੱਲ ਕਰ ਰਹੇ ਸਨ ਕਿ ਜੀ ਐਪਰੀਸ਼ੀਏਸ਼ਨ ਤੇ ਐਪਰੀਸ਼ੀਏਟ ਤੇ ਕਰ ਰਹੇ ਨੇ ਸਾਰਿਆਂ ਨੂੰ ਪੀਸ ਐਂਬੈਸਡਰਸ ਬਣਾ ਕੇ, ਤੇ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਅਨਾਉਂਸ ਦੀ ਅਵਾਰਡ ਐਂਡ ਦ ਵਿਨਰ ਐਂਡ ਐਵਰੀਥਿੰਗ। ਰਮਿੰਦਰ, would you like to announce please? ਕਿੱਥੇ ਹੋ ਰਿਹਾ ਅਵਾਰਡ, ਕਿਸ ਜਗ੍ਹਾ ਤੇ ਹੋ ਰਿਹਾ, ਡੇਟ ਕਿਹੜੀ ਹੈ? ਅਸੀਂ ਹਰ ਸਾਲ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਇੰਟਰਫੇਥ ਹੈਗਾ ਵਾ ਮੂਨ ਲਾਈਟ ਕਨਵੈਨਸ਼ਨ ਸੈਂਟਰ 'ਚ ਕਰਵਾਉਂਦੇ ਹੈਗੇ ਆ। ਕਈ ਵਾਰ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਲੋਕੀ ਪੁੱਛਦੇ ਕਿ ਇੰਨੇ ਨੇ ਵੱਡੇ ਬੈਂਕਟ ਹਾਲ ਨੇ, ਵਾਈ ਮੂਨ ਲਾਈਟ ਕਨਵੈਨਸ਼ਨ ਸੈਂਟਰ? ਕੈਨੇਡਾ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਇੱਕ ਉਹੀ ਸਟਰੀਟ ਹੈ ਮੇਰਾ ਖਿਆਲ, ਇੱਕ ਡੈਡ ਐਂਡ ਸਟਰੀਟ ਹੈਗੀ ਹੈ ਸਾਡੇ ਬੈਂਕਟ ਹਾਲ ਦੇ ਸਾਹਮਣੇ, ਮੰਦਰ, ਮਸਜਿਦ ਤੇ ਚਰਚ ਹੈ। ਇਟਸ ਅ ਟਰੂ ਐਗਜ਼ਾਮਪਲ ਆਫ ਮਲਟੀਕਲਚਰਲਿਜ਼ਮ ਇਨ ਕੈਨੇਡਾ। ਇੱਧਰ ਮੰਦਰ ਹੈਗਾ, ਇੱਧਰ ਜਾਓ ਚਰਚ ਹੈ, ਨਾਲ ਹੀ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਹੈ ਮਸਜਿਦ ਹੈਗੀ ਹੈ, ਤੇ ਫਿਰ ਸਾਡਾ ਬੈਂਕਟ ਹਾਲ ਹੈ। ਮਤਲਬ ਇਟਸ ਅ ਬਿਊਟੀਫੁਲ ਐਗਜ਼ਾਮਪਲ ਆਫ ਮਲਟੀਕਲਚਰਲਿਜ਼ਮ। ਵੈਨ ਯੂ ਐਂਟਰ ਦ ਸਟਰੀਟ ਕਮਿੰਗ ਟੂ ਆਵਰ ਇਵੈਂਟ, ਯੂ ਸੀ ਇਸ ਐਗਜ਼ਾਮਪਲ ਆਫ ਮਲਟੀਕਲਚਰਲਿਜ਼ਮ। ਸੋ ਇਟਸ ਅ ਮੂਨ ਲਾਈਟ ਕਨਵੈਨਸ਼ਨ ਸੈਂਟਰ, ਪ੍ਰੋਫੈਸ਼ਨਲ ਕ੍ਰੈਸੈਂਟ ਦੇ ਉੱਤੇ ਹੈਗੀ ਹੈ, ਤੇ ਡੇਰੀ ਐਂਡ ਗੋਰਵੇ ਦੇ ਕੋਲ। ਐਂਡ ਐਵਰੀਬੋਡੀ ਇਜ਼ ਵੈਲਕਮ ਜੀ। ਅਸੀਂ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਸਪੋਰਟ ਕਰੋ। ਅਸੀਂ ਜਿੰਨੇ ਵੀ ਇਹ ਫਾਈਨਲਿਸਟ ਬੁਲਾਏ ਹੋਏ ਨੇ ਸਾਰੇ ਫ੍ਰੀ ਨੇ, ਇਹਨਾਂ ਕੋਲ ਅਸੀਂ ਕੋਈ ਪੈਸਾ ਨਹੀਂ ਲੈ ਰਹੇ, ਪਰ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਕੁਝ ਪੈਸੇ ਤਾਂ ਰੇਜ਼ ਕਰਨੇ ਹੀ ਪੈਣੇ ਹੈਗੇ ਨੇ। ਸੋ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਸਪਾਂਸਰ ਕਰੋ ਐਂਡ ਜੋ ਤੁਹਾਡੀ ਮਦਦ ਹੋ ਸਕਦੀ ਹੈ। ਐਂਡ wow, this was a wow. I'm going to read it out again what Raminder said in English. It's the International Peace Awards Ceremony 2019 will be held in beautiful Interfaith, a musical event on Saturday, December 21st, celebrating Christmas in the presence of tens of representatives from many Canadian charities from all over Canada. So the Canadian charities are going to gather on the 21st of December at Moonlight Convention. And like what Raminda said, come over and support everybody. Can't you see that? The very vision here is creating peace ambassadors.
And it's the first time in the history of Canada.
And first time.
ਇੰਨੇ ਵੱਡੇ ਲੈਵਲ ਦੇ ਉੱਤੇ ਇੰਨੀਆਂ ਆਰਗੇਨਾਈਜੇਸ਼ਨ ਇੱਕ ਪਲੇਟਫਾਰਮ ਦੇ ਛੱਤ ਥੱਲੇ ਇਕੱਠੀਆਂ ਹੋਣਗੀਆਂ and they all celebrating the diversity.
Look at that.
Canadian diversity.
And it's very diverse and unique in the sense that there's no cost here applied to the recipients.
Yeah.
So the business, it's not for the sake of business, but it's the sake of bringing this awareness and acknowledgement and appreciation to the community out there. Carol, your last message to the people out there, welcoming all of them that they should attend. What would you say?
I think welcome it's an invitation, and every invitation begins with an acceptance. So if you're local, we welcome you. It will be a joyous night. It will be an uplifting experience. And I think we've said about the relationships. So even if you want the opportunity to build relationships, this is going to be the place to be, to recognize the peace ambassadors. And I think we would also want to see if you want to get involved. Like, we're always expanding our teams. We're open. This is what this conversation's about. This is about you. This is about you, the community, and this is about our leaders that we're recognizing that night with acknowledgement.
Wow. GIDS is about building a healthy, safe, and prosperous world. Thank you very much, Raminda. Thank you very much, Carol.
Thank you.
KCXL is all about promoting the promoters. Everybody, it was a pleasure having our guests here, and this is doing something different. Yes, Rida.
You can be tired, you will be feeling to give up, but look deep inside yourself and know your worth, because you are your only limit. The universe falls in love with the stubborn heart. Don't stop believing in your dreams, because one day you will achieve them, and one day you will be very proud of yourself because you actually earned that respect, you actually earned that job title, you actually earned to be deserving brand. We'll see you with a brand new show with a brand new guest. Till that time, keep watching Live with KCXL on PTN 24.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.